The first thing you should know is that I wasn't spying. I bought the camera because Bear, our golden retriever, had started sulking when I left for work. Big sad eyes, slow tail wags, a heartbreak in fur form. Danny said I was being dramatic, that Bear was fine, but he didn't see the way he paced after the front door shut. So, pet cam. For Bear, not Danny, not me. Still, there's something about setting up a camera in your own house that feels like lighting a very small, very polite fuse. I didn't think it would blow anything up. I definitely didn't think it would blow up me. The camera sat tucked onto the bookshelf in the lounge, pointing toward the sofa. It had two settings: activity alerts and live check-in. I left it on alerts most days. If Bear moved, I got a short clip. Cute. Comforting. I didn't check it much at work. I was busy managing social media for a plant-based meal kit company that insisted we call salads plant adventures. If you've ever tried to make broccoli sound thrilling in 280 characters, you'll understand why my lunch breaks usually involved me doom-scrolling TikTok instead of watching Bear sleep. But that Tuesday, I logged in early. It was a grim day. Thick rain, grey light, a headache blooming just behind my eyes. Danny had texted that morning to say he was working from home because he was waiting for a parcel. He did that sometimes, working remotely from our flat, usually with Bear snoring next to him. I logged into the app absent-mindedly, halfway through typing a caption about adventurous kale. And there they were. Not Danny and Bear. Danny and a woman I didn't know. At first, I honestly thought I'd clicked the wrong feed. She was curled up on the sofa in my hoodie, hair messy, bare feet tucked under Danny's legs. They were laughing, relaxed, familiar in a way you don't get in 5 minutes. Bear, bless him, was on the rug, chewing a toy like nothing was wrong. The camera had audio too, but I didn't turn it on. I didn't need to hear it. I could see enough. The way Danny looked at her, soft, stupid, adoring, was the way he used to look at me. I closed the app, and then, because heartbreak is just as predictable as gravity, I opened it again. They stayed like that for 20 minutes. She played with Bear for a bit, badly, and then they disappeared from frame. Off towards the bedroom, probably. I didn't check. I'm not a masochist. My kale caption sat blinking at me, half written. Go on a green adventure today. Right. I didn't tell Danny that night. I didn't scream or throw things or even cry. I went home as normal. Kissed Bear on the head. Ordered pizza. Listened to Danny moan about work stress and courier delays and how Bear was being needy lately. I nodded and smiled and tucked all the sharp little pieces of myself into my back pocket for later. Because later was coming, and it was going to be good. The plan started small. Not a grand movie-worthy revenge, not shouting in public, not posting screenshots online. I didn't want drama. I wanted clarity. Proof, not just for me, but for the part of myself that still stupidly hoped there was some other explanation. So, the next morning, before I left for work, I moved the pet cam, just slightly, tilted it a few degrees toward the hallway so it caught not only the living room but also the front door. Then I went to the settings and switched on 24/7 recording. If they came back, I would see it. If he kissed her in my kitchen, stroked her hair in my hallway, I would have it. No arguments. No what-ifs. And if they didn't, well, maybe I could finally stop feeling like my own lungs were wrapped in cling film. Danny texted me around lunchtime. Danny, Bear's a bit restless today. Gonna take him for a walk, then get back to work. Miss you, Ix. I stared at the screen for a while. Miss you. It hit me like a shove. How easily he lied with his thumbs. How easily I had believed him. I didn't reply. Instead, when my lunch break came, I sat on a bench under a leaking awning outside the office and opened the live feed. The hallway was empty. Bear was curled up on the mat, snoring. No Danny, no woman. Maybe she wasn't coming back. Maybe that cuddle-eyed scene was a one-time, champagne-fueled mistake. Maybe. I closed the feed. I ate a soggy sandwich. It happened at 3:17 p.m. My phone buzzed. Movement detected. I opened the feed. The door swung open, and there they were. Same woman, same easy homebody vibe. Danny carried 2 coffees. She carried a brown paper bag. Pastries, I guessed. They kissed in the doorway. Quick. Familiar. And then Danny kicked the door shut behind them like he lived there. Like she did too. I sat at my desk, watching it all happen. The feed cut off when they disappeared toward the kitchen, but it didn't matter. I had seen enough. I had proof. That night, I didn't go home. I went to Elsie's instead, curled up on her sofa with a blanket and a glass of wine while she cursed Danny into the next century. "Tell me you're going to wreck him," she said. "Better," I said. "I'm going to make him think he wrecked it himself." Friday, I booked us a table at the King's Arms, his favourite pub. I told him it was a surprise date night, said I was feeling guilty for being so busy lately. He bought it. He always bought it. He was already there when I arrived, pint half gone. Grinning like a kid, we ordered food, chatted about nothing. When he was halfway through a story about work, I pulled out my phone. "By the way," I said sweetly, "Bear's cam caught something funny today. Want to see?" I showed him the clip, the door swinging open, the woman laughing, Danny kissing her like it was the most normal thing in the world. He froze, tried to lie, failed. I leaned forward. "Keys on the table," I said. "Walk out, never come back." He left. I finished my drink, feeling lighter than I had in months. The flat was mine again. It didn't feel lonely. It felt like breathing. I packed his things into a box. No note, no drama. Bear healed faster than I did. He stopped waiting by the door. He started bringing me toys again. We made a deal. Morning walks, extra sausages, seaside trips. I made a list too. Tiny things. Buy a real camera, print my favourite photos, laugh with new people, trust myself again, forgive myself properly. One by one, I ticked them off. And one sunny afternoon in June, sitting outside a cafe, a stranger complimented my photo of Bear. I smiled, real, whole, and thanked her. There were still so many things left to see, and finally, I was ready to look. The end.